What is up, RotoGrinders? 2 hours nonstop NBA DFS conversation starts right now, taking you all the way up to lock 7 Eastern. 7-game slate on DK. FanDuel is including the presumed shellacking of the Chicago Bulls. Bulls playing the back half of a back-to-back after playing overtime last night in the toughest place to play a back-to-back in Denver. Therefore, they're 14-point dogs tonight. FanDuel insisted this game is on the slate, 9 Eastern. The DK slate, the last game tips off at 8 o'clock. Myself, Chop, double duty once again for Chopper. Big day for Chop. His Cowboys are on Monday Night Football. Exciting times for Chop. This is the appetizer. Talking football later on tonight. Is it another Bobby show? Who are we with tonight? As far as the who we paired up talking about football tonight?
It's a good question. Let me double check. Pretty sure it's not Bobby though. But I don't really look ahead too far like that. But I can pull that up for you, Dean. I'm pretty sure it might be, what's today? The 17th?
Yeah.
It's like it's me and TJ.
All right, there you go.
Yeah.
Speaking of Bobby, by the way, shout out to Bobby.
Oh, yeah.
On the podium, top three, finished third in the Millie Maker this past weekend. So there you go. Bobby Gomes, former $1 million winner. You know something about that as well. Didn't quite get there, but he finished third place, which, I mean, it's not anything to complain about, but, that's why I don't play those contests. $1 million up top, what's that, like 35% or something to first place. And they got $50K, which is cool. I mean, who complains? $50K. But, 50K, I think it's $1 million, $100K, $50K. I think that's how it dips. And you get steak knives if you finish 11th. I think that's the DK will send you out some nice knives or something like that. But that's how that goes. It's great if you finish first. But shout out to Bobby Gomes. Chop Howard things. Happy Monday. Happy Movie Monday. Get excited.
Movie Monday. NFL football. Let's go, Dean. Let's do it. I'm ready. Congratulations to Bobby. It's a nice little finish right there. Very chalky NFL Sunday, Dean, if I do say so myself. Super.
I disagree with you.
Really?
A lot of the shock. The Jalen Warren imploded. Chase Brown wasn't very good. Oh, Jalen Warren got hurt.
I agree with some of the chalk busted, but I mean
the Arizona triple stacks was there's one chalk thing.
That was, Jacoby Brissett might have been the whole highest owned quarterback, and the triple stack. McBride was an ungodly number at tight end. Yeah,
Wilson.
Some of the chalk busted, but a lot of the chalk got there, and that's what really won a lot of these tournaments. Just I don't know, man. So
JJ McCarthy, I think, was the most popular quarterback. And
was he? Man, no way.
I think he was. He was top 2 or top 3.
Well, they say the edge never dies, then, Dean. If JJ McCarthy is his top owned quarterback, because he stinks. Don't know if you realize this yet, but
I mean, he's 5 games into his career. He might stink, but I don't know if you can officially say he stinks. But he might. He certainly might.
Let's just call a spade, Dean, and let's just say that all these guys sticking their chest out on draft night. Oh, he's only 21 years old. You got to take it. So was Trey Lance. We're not crying for Trey Lance shares right now, are we? No, we've had enough of that.
No, people said Baker Mayfield stinks. People said
but there's context to everything, Dean. This guy's with one of maybe, if not the best, quarterback offensive-minded coaches you can have, at your disposal. He's got maybe the most talented wide receiver. It's right up there with one of the most talented wide receiver cores you could have at your disposal. This guy's airmailing shots, man. I mean, I understand if certain things that you can't grasp and they'll get better in time. He's airmailing balls. He stinks. Fine, whatever. I'm not going to back over this franchise with a truck because you know what? Somebody did even worse than that. They took about a 26-year-old quarterback coming out of college with bad knees. And that guy ain't going to make it through the year this year. That team's going to be another, top 10 pick. I don't even know if they don't even have their pick this year. The Falcons, they took Penix when he was coming out of college with 2 bad knees, having played 6 years in college. what a terrible move that was after they just signed Kirk Cousins so like these franchises, they're just they're rough, man. They are rough.
Adam makes a good point, but like Addison did drop a ball that would have been like a 70-yard touchdown. It was a perfectly thrown ball in the middle. There was a lot of bad balls thrown that I saw from McCarthy, and Jefferson was very upset, understandably so. Frustration there from the receivers, but I guess he throws. All he knows is how to throw a fastball. Everything just flying in. Maybe he throws it too hard sometimes. I don't know. But I did hear somebody say the stat, and I don't recall who it was. Maybe it was a tweet that like since high school, he only has one game of 300 yards passing or more.
Ooh, like, that sounds about right.
That's honestly a bad sign. I don't really watch a lot of college football.
You know what's a bad sign, Dean? Now, in retrospect, when you think about it, I kind of knew this coming out, but you were in college, and your coach never turned you loose in college. No matter what the circumstances were, you pretty much never got turned loose in college. Like,
Wasn't that kind of a Harbaugh thing, just sort of like his general philosophy?
Well, Harbaugh sure the hell's turning Herbert loose, ain't he?
Yeah. Well, Herbert.
I don't know, Dean. I'm just saying.
He has his own problems, like his offensive line.
That was just pure injuries right there. That happens, man. That happens. But speaking of injuries, Dean, good football slate tonight. Some injuries, kind of getting back from injuries, the Cowboys. So looking forward to that one.
Yeah, I think they're 3-point favorites in Vegas tonight. Should be a good one. You're on later on tonight, 7:30 in the East Coast with TJ. TJ is in chat. He said that he confirmed he'll be on the show with you later on this evening, talking a little bit of showdown. 7-game slate in the association, 4 teams in the back half of a back-to-back. That's the Clippers, New Orleans, Dallas, Chicago. We did see airplane mode. Derek Jones. He got hurt. He's not playing tonight. Now they officially just came out and said, at least 6 weeks or so. Yeah, it looked pretty bad last night. So we're not going to see him for a bit. Not on the slate, but Wemby's out for several weeks. So it looks like that's kind of a bummer. He's always fun to watch. We're waiting for Cade news. I did see Cade signed with Nike. He got his own shoe coming. So shout out to Cade. He is questionable this evening. That's kind of a big one, I believe. Is that a 7:00 game or 7:30? I think that's 7:00. So we'll know. If we don't know, crunch time will know as far as Cade being officially in, officially out. Zion, I think there's a decent chance Zion plays because they played last night. He didn't play last night. He wasn't going to play both games anyway. So I think they just didn't let him play last night to play tonight, but we'll see. We haven't seen Zion in a while, but he's officially questionable. 17-point dogs at home, which is, 17-point home dogs to OKC, who, they're smashing so hard that SGA just like he can shower after the third quarter, right? Half the time. I think it's 8 games. I saw the note, like at least 8 games this year. He's yet to see the fourth quarter. OKC, and Jalen Williams is just to play. This team is so good, and they're better this year. I don't know how they're going to be stopped, barring injuries. Anything else as far as some big injuries we're kind of waiting for tonight? Zion questionable. We mentioned Cade for Asar Thompson. He's also questionable as well. That's another big one for Detroit. I think that's kind of. But we might see Mathurin. We might see Benedict Mathurin. The Pacers have the worst offense in basketball, and I guess they can use some Mathurin. But of course, they're 11-point dogs here. It's been a rough season for Indiana, mostly due to it started in the offseason, or I guess in the playoffs last year with Tyrese going down. We might get the Paul George playing basketball tonight in a revenge game right out the gate against his old mates there in Los Angeles. Well, it's in Philadelphia versus the Clippers. Chop, you have any general thoughts, overview? We do have some big spends, if we want to make it work. We have a rematch of the Miami-New York game, which really got loose, and I don't want to keep stressing how fast Miami's been playing, but I was looking at the pace stuff, and they're 2 points higher, 2 possessions higher than the second fastest team, more than 2 possessions higher. So it's not even that they're playing fast; it's like they're playing distinctly fast, and 2 possessions faster than Portland, who's second. And if you just got to do the math, they're 2.5 possessions faster than Team 2, and the distance from Team 2 to the same distance between team 1 and team 2, Miami and Portland, as far as pace, is the same distance between Portland and team 13. So they are just flying. They're gonna have some decisions to make because they've been pretty good as far as their 9 guys they're playing. Hero's coming back soon. He's practicing. Bam, we'll see when he comes back soon. But I mean, I'm not saying Miami's gonna make a run, but they're gonna. I don't know if guys are just gonna get squeezed. I don't know if they're gonna play. Some of these guys are gonna become DMPs. But yeah, I'm actually enjoying watching the Heat this year, even though of course, they have a ceiling, and this might not work in the playoffs if they make the playoffs. Well, they'll make the playoffs. They'll probably get knocked out round 1. But Chop, any general thoughts before we dive in? I know what. Clue number 1 scrolling, by the way. Clue number 1 is scrolling, and you got to be kidding me. Producer Steve is telling me we have a winner on the first clue.
Nah, somebody knows something. Somebody knows something, and there's no way.
Does somebody have access to my laptop, or this is 2 binks in a row? Are
you giving the answers to Steve pre-show?
I think Steve might be. You think he's giving? Is that what's happening?
He's getting a little kickback from whoever wins the free RG. That's what's going on. So of course he's giving it to his guys. Kickback City. Yeah, there's no. You don't get this on Shout. What is it? Shout.
Yeah, I guess I made it too easy. And if you think about it, yeah, well,
Shout could be literally, Dean. You can branch off into a million different directions with Shout. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Is it Animal House? Was it Animal House?
It was not Animal House, no. But yeah,
well, that would have been too obvious.
Yeah.
So it wasn't super obvious. So yeah, this is I agree, Alex. Somebody's leaking, and prime culprit right now.
He's the only person that knows. Besides me.
I wouldn't leak it to this guy. He's not ever that nice to me. Who won? He's kind of rude. He just says premium. Not thanks. Oh, I won. Congrats. Thanks. He's premium. I wouldn't leak it to that guy.
That's something somebody would say if they are leaking, though, officially. But yeah.
Is it the same guy who's won it before?
It is a name I've
this
seen
guy
before.
Does. He wins all the time.
There, we got something shady going on then, Dean. Maybe this guy has access to your
my
laptop, man. Yeah, he can remote access, man.
Maybe he's one of those Best Buy geniuses or something. I don't know, but we're gonna go for investigation.
He got you.
Shout out to Iowa boy who took it down in 1 clue. We'll continue. We'll play it along, just for fun. Chop, I know you like to check out once somebody gets it, but all right. I got to make it tougher. People always say my clues are bad. They're too good. They're too on the nose, so I have to make it tougher. We're on easy mode right now. I got to pump it up to a little bit more difficult. All right. You want us to dive in game by game? Anything else? All right. I'm going to be tilting the rest of the show.
Yeah, we can dive in, Dean.
Clippers and the Sixers. Clippers are playing the back half of a back-to-back. They're traveling as well. We have revenge games all around for Paul George, who looks like he's going to play. He's on track to play, I suppose. I don't think you're playing Paul George, but, of note, he should be playing basketball tonight for Philadelphia. McCain is available back from the G League. Kelly Oubre, we're not going to see him for a bit. He's got a knee. Of course, Embiid still out with his knee. And Adam Bona, he's got an ankle. So a couple of the bigs are down for Philadelphia. Mentioned Derek Jones Jr., DJJ. He's got a knee. He's going to be gone for a while. Bradley Beal done for the season. He's got a hip, so he cannot play basketball. Bogdan Bogdanovic, back half of a back-to-back, played a bunch of minutes last night. I think the Clippers played overtime last night. I believe they did. It was 2 or 3 overtime games last night. He's projecting to be one of the best point per dollar plays in the slate. He's also questionable. He's also not young. Yeah, I don't know if he's good chalk or bad chalk, but he's going to get some run. And at least as of right now, he projects pretty good. In theory, I don't know if he's good chalk, but also if he plays 30 minutes, he should be pretty good when you consider his asking price. And I mentioned Kawhi. Kawhi's out as well. He's got that ankle. So, yeah, James Harden, the absence of Kawhi, is doing everything these days for the Clippers. Feels like he might break down at some point. He's also not particularly young by NBA standards, but he's running the ship here. We are giving him 37 minutes in the back half of a back-to-back, and Maxey, of course, runs the show for Philly. We're giving 39 minutes to Maxey. We've seen him get over that at times. How do you feel about the Clippers and the Sixers?
Yeah, we got a game here. Clippers and Philly. Nice little game. Get us started. I mean, it's I put James Harden's name in the survey this morning. I think he's a nice GPP kind of play. Just he has upside with all these guys injured, and Philly, not a juggernaut on defense, and gonna play could get up there a little bit with Embiid out. So I like James Harden a little bit. Bogdanovich should gather a little bit of steam. Don't like him, but whatever. Chalky Bogdanovich, not going to cut it for me. Do like Andre Drummond on the other side. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, Dean. It's not a super exciting game, but there's a few pieces in here you can get to. I don't know. A Drummond, like who's gonna?
He's gonna play 30 minutes.
Yeah, Zubac is gonna play for the Clippers. That's their thing. Mm-hmm. So somebody's got to be in there that has a little bit of size at least. They're not going to go super small against him. So somebody's got to play. And you already mentioned Embiid's out. Adam Boner's out. Drummond's going to get some run, man. I do like Drummond. He's got a little fantasy upside. He always has. That's probably my favorite play in this game. Otherwise, I mean, I'm not going to – this is not a guy I'm playing, but when I fire off a few optimals and things, I can see some projection systems really like $3,300 Kobe Sanders. Now I'm not going there.
Tell me about him. You probably watched the
No, I don't want. I'm not going there. No, that's not my thing. Yeah, I'm not going there, Dean. But whatever, man. Like, not playing Chris Dunn. He's a defensive specialist. John Collins. They keep trying to force John Collins all on us, and I don't want. I think he's cooked. I don't want John Collins. So, I think it's Harden or bust on that side, and on the flip side, Drummond's a good one.
20% usage in the season for Collins, 0.83 DK fantasy points per minute. Feels like it should be higher. Both those numbers should be higher. They're just not. Harden. I should take Kawhi off the court. I'm on court IQ right now, about 30% for the season. But if you take Kawhi off the court, that's going to jump up for sure. Let's see. I am running it here on the old. Oh no, I hit on. I should have hit off. Now I'm going to need to stall and say some more words while I change this up and kick Leonard off the court. Yeah. So James Harden 32% usage. So that they certainly gets a bump. If I take Beal off, I should have taken them both off because Beal's another guy that would get a fair bit of run. We also, like you mentioned, if Bogdanovich doesn't go, then Sanders looks even better. We don't have like incredible value plays tonight. Hunter on DK specifically, Hunter looks really good. He's going to hit most of your stuff. For whatever reason, he's priced at 4 or 5, which just seems a little bit too low. But I know our if-then stuff, Chop. We have, if we happen to lose Bogdanovich, Sanders would project for 26 minutes and about a 21-point median projection about DK and Vandal, and that could be useful tonight. All right. And I agree. Drummond's a pretty good play. Zubac, not the best matchup necessarily, but he'll keep him on the court. They'll need his size. Like they still have, Watford and Barlow's, and they have that's their other big guys, but they're going to need Drummond to play 30 minutes or so against Zubac on the other side. I think Harden is interesting for tournaments like you mentioned. I would prefer him not the back half of back-to-back and travel, but they've been running him into the ground for sure, and they might continue to do so. Okay. We're moving on here, Chop.
Dean, we are moving on. And Brandon Blanchard in chat says, I can't do this no more. Is Dean always this monotone all the time? Man, you got to pick up the energy, bro. I know you ain't talking about me.
Well, I just found the comment, and it says, are they this monotone? I think that you, by association, I might be,
he might be talking about you and Steve, though, by they.
About Bobby Gomes in chat. I figured he'd be out getting some lobster or a bottle of champagne or something. But Bobby hanging out with us after getting third in the Millie Maker last night. Shout out to Bobby once again. Pacers, Pistons, 231.5. That is the total. Detroit is an 11-point favorite. I'm going to try to be less monotone now. Now you got me all self-conscious here, Chop. So this is also a 7 o'clock game. I think there's 3 of them. I think 3. Yeah, 3 7 o'clock games. Pacers, we know the deal. Quentin Jackson, Halliburton, Naismith, Obi Toppin, Johnny Furphy. We are getting pretty good chance we're getting Mathurin back, and we're projecting him to start. So some reinforcements. We're expecting Nembhard, Mathurin, Walker, Pascal, and Tony Bradley. Taking on the Pistons. Cade Cunningham officially questionable as well. Jalen Duren is probable. Tobias Harris still out. Ivy still out. Sasser still out. And then Osar Thompson officially questionable. We're projecting Cunningham, Duncan Robinson, Osar, Holland, and Duren to start here. We do have an if-then setup. I think if Cade sits, we'll see. Duren would get a boost as far as his projection as well. Jenkins, who's played pretty well in the absence of Cade. Pacers, Pistons. What do you got? What are our thoughts? Are we interested?
Yes, Dean, I am interested in this game a little bit. Is that monotone enough for you, Brandon? Come on, man. Take a hike, bro, with all the garbage in the chat. I mean, we're up in the air, right? We don't know about Oscar Thompson or Cade Cunningham, so we got to sit on that. But Duren is smash city, man. That guy's really good, Dean. Really good for fantasy purposes, at least. So
most improved player.
He's pretty awesome. We got to keep plugging him in there at these price tags in this matchup, regardless of if Cade or Oscar sits or whatever. So, and if they do sit, he's probably even a little bit better. But he's pretty awesome. Great matchup for him and all that. On the other side over there, Indiana, I'm just not really. I don't know, man. They just don't do it for me here. I think there's just a lot better spots. So I guess, Dean, my whole expectations are tempered on a lot of these games and a lot of these players because we got that one really good spot with New York later and stuff like that. So I'm just not as interested on a different slate. Maybe some of these other guys jump out, but on this slate, not a lot jumping out here. So, but Duren is definitely a guy I would want to plug in as one of my big guys and let him roam. He could have a field day in this matchup.
Yeah, especially against whatever the Pacers are throwing out there defensively. Inside, Tony Bradley and Isaiah Jackson and JRE and Jay Huff. It's a bunch of nonsense.
They give up 1, 2, 3, 4, the 5th most points in the paint.
Yeah,
and a whole lot of rebounds. So that fits Duren to a T.
Yeah, I think it's a really good matchup for him. It is kind of a wait and see as far as Cade. If he sits, is there still meat in the bone of Jenkins at 6'3"? Is that something we can use? That's 6'3" on FanDuel, and on DK he is 5'8". I think 5'8" on DK is pretty good. We would project him for around 30 fantasy points as a median projection if we happen to lose Cade. And again, it's just something we'll know. If we don't know, crunch time will know. I assume we'll know it around 6:30. I assume in 5 minutes they're going to say game time decision. That's probably what we're going to get as far as the news flow. Speaking of news flow, no surprise, Paul George, if he plays, he's officially game time decision. He'll have his minutes limited, of course. Yeah. You're not going to be playing Paul. I don't even look what his price is, unless he's like 3K or something like that, which I assume he's not. He is 7-4, which is, LOL. There's no chance you're playing Paul George tonight for Philadelphia, even if he does play. Ownership stuff right now, Chop. And again, this can change with Detroit with 2 key pieces officially questionable. Just not a very popular game on FanDuel. Nobody currently in double digits on both sides. Mathurin coming back mucks up the other guys as well. I've been waiting for McConnell to get a few more minutes of burn. It just hasn't quite happened. We're projecting 17. Maybe he'll get to the 20s or so. I took a couple shots on the baby slates, 2 or 3 games, but I wouldn't do it. I don't think I would do it on a 7 or 8 gamer tonight where there's a lot more other options at a similar price point. And on DK, Nembhard's the one guy that's currently in double digits, and Duren's not too far behind. Do like him. We're giving him 30 minutes, Jalen Duren, which I think if he gets 30, that could be enough to do some damage. We've not seen him since the 10th, so maybe he loses a minute or so as far as projection. I would imagine that's probably why it's at 30 instead of like 30, 31, 32. But that's it, right? Moving on. As far as Pacers, Detroit, we need more news. But as of right now, that's all we got, correct?
That's all we got. Just checking out the chat, Dean, and a couple of comments. BSABD315 makes a comment about Dennis Jenkins. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe he's not
Was
good.
he good in college?
I don't even. Name doesn't sound familiar, so.
Oh, okay.
Hoosiers hang banners. Have you seen the Halliburton clone on Ole Miss? Yeah, they have a guy on Ole Miss, man. He just looks strikingly, eerily similar to Tyrese Halliburton. It's crazy. You ought to Google that one.
Does he have the same goofy shot?
That's a good question. I didn't look at him play. I just seen his image. It's crazy image. What else? Oh, it says Alex says that he feels like I have a good back down post move. That was my thing, man. When I was hooping back in the day.
Yeah,
I could back you down. A decent outside shot, but I could back you down. I just wasn't. I just, get in there with the trees. I couldn't do nothing with that. I wasn't that tall. I wasn't tall enough to be playing with the taller guys. So had to retire.
I had a little baby hook shot, but like a little left-handed hook shot in the post. But basketball was not my sport. I was functionable. I can play. I can, pass, dribble, play defense, rebound, that kind of stuff. But no, that was not my sport. Baseball.
What was your baseball? You were a baseball guy?
Yeah, baseball,
shit,
soccer, and when I was older, racquetball. I went on and played a bunch
I
of
could
racquetball.
not play baseball, man. I was a great defender, great outfielder. Dean.
You just play in the dirt?
Great outfielder. I just couldn't get at the plate, man. I just couldn't. No hand-eye coordination for baseball, I guess, to be able to make contact like that. So I retired from that pretty quickly. Little League, I was donezo after 1 year.
Okay, let's move along. Let's talk about the last game. The last game, the 7:00 window. It's the Bucks and the Cavs. I believe this is the game on the Cock. It's on Peacock, 7:00 on the East Coast. By the way, speaking of networks and things of the sort, shout out to ESPN and YouTube. They figured it out. They had to, right? They couldn't go another weekend without figuring it out. Without, as far as people, the quad box for college football was so sad when they didn't have the ESPN games on YouTube. And I was like, who are these teams? But yeah, it's back, and you can reorder your YouTube, I suppose, if you happen to cancel. But that is always annoying because it's always the customer that gets squeezed on such things. But okay, Bucks, Cavs, 235.5 is the total. Cavaliers are 6-7 point favorites here. As far as who is in, who is out for this one, some players of note. For Milwaukee, officially, Antetokounmpo is out. Now that's Alex Antetokounmpo is in the G League. Giannis is probable. No Taurean Prince. He's got that neck, so he's still not playing. No KPJ. He's out with his knee. Darius Garland, big deal. He's got a toe. So he's not playing. We've yet to see Max Strus this season. Jalen Tyson still out with that concussion. Yeah, I mentioned earlier at the top of the show, DeAndre Hunter is 4-5 on DK Chop. And just kind of shopping around, I think it's 6'2", 6'3" on FanDuel. I think he's let me sort by point per dollar. Is he the best point per dollar play in the slate? He might be. On DraftKings specifically, let's go ahead and fire this up on the old lineup HQ tool. He is by a pretty good bit. 6.73 fantasy points per minute with 30 minutes, a 30-point fantasy projection at 4.5. So, yeah, I'm going to play Hunter. If you're playing cash games, you're almost definitely putting him as one of your first players in. Again, DraftKings specific. Yeah, but like Musa Cisse is the fourth best projected fantasy point per minute player. Kind of an energy guy, right? Good blocks, good boards, no threes. We are giving him 24 minutes tonight. Bogdanovich third, McBride second. We'll talk about the Knicks soon enough, but they are hurting. They're pretty thin. How do you feel about the Cavs and the Bucks? Is Giannis or Mitchell your favorite big spend on the slate?
No, but this game still has a lot of appeal to it. DeAndre Hunter is $2,000 less than he has been for like 6 or 7 games in a row now. And he did nothing in the, like, it was just a flat out mispricing, I believe. I don't know what their algorithm does, but it's clearly off. He's been sitting in the mid 6s for about 2 weeks now or so. And so now you get him at 4,500 tonight. Like, it's chalk. It's cash chalk in GPPs. Do you need that? No, because he could certainly go out there and deliver a 20-point fantasy performance, and then you didn't. 4,500 was probably too much, or it didn't match, or didn't do anything for you in GPP. So in GPP's large field, you could certainly get away from that. Mobley and Mitchell are fine, gathering a lot of ownership from what I can see. Good projections, though. It's going to be a good, solid matchup. Should be a competitive game. That's where I draw the line on Cleveland. On the flip side, Giannis he's a fine spin up, but I've got my eyes elsewhere that we'll talk about later. So we got that route. And I'm just not like a big fan of what Milwaukee has on their roster other than Giannis. So I usually don't go there. I just find that they're kind of boring and I don't know. Just not particularly good. So I don't want to it's Giannis or bust for this team for me, especially against Cleveland tonight.
You only play him if Giannis is out. Miles Turner hasn't quite acclimated himself from a fantasy perspective here in Milwaukee. He hasn't been great. We saw an incredible game from Kuzma a couple days ago, and then we saw where he just busted fabulously in the game after that, I believe. That is the Kyle Kuzma experience. Once you trust Kyle Kuzma, was it 39 minutes 3 days ago or so? Yeah, this is the third game in 4 nights. It's not a back-to-back. They played a lot of games. The 12th, the 14th, the 15th, now the 17th. He put up 60 fantasy points on the 14th, I believe. No, he needed a triple-double. He had 29 and 10, though. And then he, against the Lakers, they lost by, 25 or so. That was the back half of a back-to-back, and I think that was also a game after overtime. 1.8 fantasy points. Just, man, Kyle Kuzma. Revenge. No revenge against the Lakers. Did not quite work out. By the way, in our Discord channel, in the live stream chat channel, Peterman, that's Hoosiers Hang Banners, he did post the clone there of Tyrese Halliburton. And you know what? The guy does look like he has a similar shot. The player from Ole Miss, I don't know his name. It's not, but there's like a side-by-side of the college basketball player. You said it was similar to Halliburton. Definitely a similar look. So I don't know. Is he as nearly as good? I don't know. Is this like the fake Klay Thompson that would remember imposter Klay Thompson? It was like just a fan that infiltrated the stadium in Golden State, just pretended to be Klay. Not sure, but
yeah, he got down on the court, man. Fake Klay got down on the court one time.
Yes, and I think he got ejected from the building for
probably. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no, but worth it because he got some buzz on the internet for a couple days, I suppose. But like, Iowa boy did circle back and says, "Premium, please, thank you, sir." So he's leaning in now.
Something fishy here, man. Fish City.
Congrats to Iowa boy once again. Steve just said, "Screw it," and just has all 5 clues scrolling at the bottom now. Just he's like, "Yeah, it's over."
I don't know. This is just fishy, Dean. So this guy doesn't pay for any.
Well,
he doesn't pay for any RG. He just gets it free. Chimes in maybe once every 25 days, 25 days or so. No, nobody's that good. He's either got advanced technology or he has an insider.
Is this like the poker scam somehow? Like I don't know. You're making some accusations. I just think I got to tighten up the clues. That's all. I got to make it harder. Shout, Dean.
It's vague enough.
So the clues are all scrolling, Chop. You want to take a shot at it? I don't know if people in chat are guessing.
I did not know the clues were scrolling. I gotta look at them.
Pretend, game, wheel, and Chicago. I think all together, I don't want to say it's easy, but I figured we get it 3 or 4, But that is the 5 clues that are scrolling there, Chop. Shout, pretend, game, wheel, and Chicago. I'll give you a second to put those together. Are we done with Milwaukee and Cleveland?
I think so. I don't see anybody else.
Who is your favorite play? Hunter. Like, you're just going to play Hunter because it's too cheap?
No. Didn't say that, Dean. For cash games, yeah, you got to like him, man. For GPPs, I definitely think there's a definite large path to fading him.
Oh.
I mean, I don't honestly doing one lineup. I'm not. If there's anybody in this game I play, it'll probably be Hunter, but I'm not super interested in this game in general. I probably won't have a player from this game on my lineup, but GPPs, he's fadeable.
We this is like unheard of, by the way. We never see this, Chop. We have a Clippers lineup an hour and a half before the game starts. Like, what? What's going on? And Sanders is starting. James Harden, Dunn, Sanders, Collins, and Zubac. So yeah, DJJ is out for a while. They're going to be starting Kobe Sanders. Interesting. How many minutes were we projecting for him? I think around 25 or so. Is he good chalk? Is he bad chalk?
Is he even chalk?
I think he might project pretty well. Who else
do they have? First start. This will be his first start, so maybe that gives him a little bit of a boost here too.
So does that mean that there's a better chance that Bogdanovich is not playing, or maybe they're trying to baby his minutes a little bit because he's old and he played a lot of minutes last night. I think he played in the mid-30s or so because their game went overtime.
35, yeah.
Yeah, 37 the previous game. So 37-35. This is the third game in 4 nights. I wouldn't say that necessarily means Bogdanovich is not playing, but our minutes projection might dip a little bit. Because
oh, God, Dean. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Dang, shout. That was pretty obvious. Damn. Now that I think about it.
Yeah. One of the more popular movie songs, I suppose. I guess they underestimated how popular that song is. You pieced it together, Chop?
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout, of course, is in reference to Twist and Shout, where Matthew Broderick sang the Beatles song, or the Beatles version of Twist and Shout. Pretend is where he pretends to be sick so he can not go to school on the particular day. Game goes to a Chicago Cub baseball game. Wheel is not in reference to Wheel Wednesday, but it's in reference to Ferris wheel, right? And this, of course, takes place in Chicago. Yeah.
Wheel could have been the car that they had to put in reverse to try. That didn't really work, man. But at the time, I guess we fell for it as kids.
You can reverse the mileage.
Put a car in reverse up on some cinder blocks, and it'll take the mileage back. Yeah, interesting.
Do you know that they try to make a TV version of Ferris Bueller's Day Off? It failed famously, and the sister, the Jennifer Grey character, was played by Jennifer Aniston. So I don't know how long that lasted, maybe like 4 or 5 episodes or something, or 13. I couldn't tell you, but I know it did not last very long. This is, of course, pre-Friends. Probably around her Leprechaun. Was she Leprechaun in the Hood? She was in one of the Leprechauns, Jennifer Aniston. Okay. Giannis, by the way, officially in. Kobe Sanders is starting. Let's get out of the 7 o'clock window. Let's talk about, it's the Heat. The Heat and the Knicks. 244.5, Chop. 244.5. That is the total. This, when I say high and tight, this is what I mean by high and tight. 244.5 is the total. Miami is a 1.5 point favorite here at home. And it's not just high and tight. It's high, tight, and thin because New York is thin. They're without OG Anunoby. They're without Jalen Brunson. Officially, Miles McBride, he was questionable earlier for personal reasons. He's available to play. Miami's thin, but they've been thin. Nothing really changing here. Bam Adebayo, we haven't seen for like 5 or 6 games or so. We've yet to see Tyler Hero this season. We are expecting McBride to start alongside Landry Shamet. Cat, who absolutely smashed this first game, especially in the first half. We saw Josh Hart come off the bench. And did he triple-double, or he came really, really close to messing around? Probably going to play about 30 minutes or so. We saw Jordan Clarkson, I think, drop 20 real-life points in the bucket, outplay McBride. That can certainly flip. Those guys are pretty reliant on their 3-ball. Miami gives up the most opponent attempted threes. Speaking of threes, Norm Powell 47.9% he's shooting this season from three. His 3-point ball is looking really, really good. Jaime Jaquez, potential 6th Man of the Year award frontrunner, has been spectacular. The price is certainly adjusted, but maybe there's still some meat in that bone. New York, Miami. I think this is the premier game. Is it not the premier of the game for us, for our purposes?
The premier game, Dean. This is the one right here. This is the one right here, man. So, I mean, this is just like chalk city, but it's good chalk. It's NBA. You can't fade some of it. I mean, where do you start? Miami, freaking Jaquez is having a career year in this new system. So I think he's squarely in play. Like an underrated thing here is going to be that New York is no longer under that Tibbs regime, which was more defense and a little bit less offense. Now they've got more of an offensive-minded head coach, so the defense is struggling just a little bit. You know, the defense can be had, but so Jaquez and Norman Powell, man, love him. Norman Powell, you mentioned the 49% three-point shooting, Dean. He's been over 40%, quite a bit in his career from the three-point line. He is a bona fide three-point shooter. He makes about 3.5 a game this year. The Knicks, tough on the inside, weak on the perimeter. You can hit three-pointers against them at a pretty high rate and a pretty high percentage. Norman Powell should be in for a pretty good scoring game here. If he can just do anything else, contribute anything else with any other stats, this guy could end up in the optimal, man. So like Powell, like Jaquez on that side. Some of those other guys are perfectly fine too. Davion Mitchell, maybe get you there with some defensive stats. Khalil Ware, same thing. If they rack up those defensive stats, they're in good shape. The Knicks are going to be ultra chalky, and they deservedly should be. Miles McBride, that's nearly 60% ownership on this guy. Might be the pill that's going to be tough to swallow right there. Is Miles McBride, but he's in a pretty good spot here with the injuries and stuff. Karl Anthony Towns, Smash City. This was the 140 to 132 game, from a few nights ago or whatever. This game's going to have pace, points, and everything. Karl Anthony is going to thrive. Inside, outside, he's get it done. Karl Anthony's good. Josh Hart, you mentioned the triple-double. That's what he does. He stuffs the stat sheet. He just needs the minutes. He's going to get a lot of minutes here. I don't think anybody's really talking as much about Mikal Bridges. He got a big usage uptick in that last game when OG went out. So Mikal Bridges is squarely in play. And Jordan Clarkson's on the radar. I'm not saying I'm running out to play Jordan Clarkson, but he's there, man. He's getting minutes for this team, and
he's got to score. He's got to score. Yeah.
And he's done it before in his career. It's not like we're trusting like a total bum here that's never done it. He's had his moments as an NBA player. So he's one of those guys. You give him enough minutes and enough usage, and he'll drop you 40 DK points. It's just a matter of will he get that like that. But Chalk City, and it's good chalk tonight. So I don't mind playing. I'd probably draw the line at 3 Knicks and 2 Heat. But Powell and Jaquez, man, I think are awesome plays.
Let me run some optimal stuff and see what I'm getting. I think we got an update as far as Sanders minutes. I bet you Sanders is going to hit some stuff. We're giving him 25. Is that as of 10 minutes ago? So that's probably a little bit of a boost to what he's getting before. But as far as projected ownership stuff here on this game, DK 41% Cat, 33% McBride. Davion Mitchell, 20% for Miami, about 20% for Hart. Bridges is in the high teens. I got first optimal on DK is 3 New York and 1 Miami. Miami stuff is a little bit, the prices are kind of right because this is, the situation has been what it is for a while now. So the prices have adjusted with other players stepping up in the absence of Bam. I'm seeing 3 or 2 Knicks. Davion Mitchell looks like the most popular player for New York. Kobe Sanders is projected for 20, 21 median. So he is hitting stuff as well as a salary saver. I don't know how good that is. I don't really have a good take on it either because I think there's a chance he does not finish. Speaking of, I saw Hoosier saying Banner's asking in chat. Josh Hart not starting but likely to finish. I mean, that's what we saw last time. That's what I would assume. He played 33 minutes off the bench, 33-35, playing the entire fourth. Basically just not starting the game. But once he didn't start the first, 6 minutes, he played most of the game after that. He had a breather in the third, came in really quickly at the start of the third. Didn't start it, but jumped in there for started the third and came out right. Shamet, which, yeah, we might see Shamet start once again. But again, the other thing is that they're without OG, which, tightens things up even more. I'm definitely going to play at least one New York player in every lineup, possibly two. I don't like speaking in definitives, but for sure one. Anything else we should say as far as New York and Miami? This game looks really, really tasty.
I think we said it all, Dean.
Said Sean has an important question. Speaking of stacking, should I stack Ritz with ham and cheddar? I mean, you lost me at cheddar. You kind of lost me at Ritz, to be honest. I'm not a Ritz guy.
What?
Yeah,
Ritz are fine.
It's cash game at best. There's no ceiling on a Ritz.
What cracker has a big ceiling, Dean?
You know what? Crackers in general, no ceiling.
Okay, then Ritz is as good as any.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not. It's not really something. Hoosier saying Benjamin says Triscuits. Triscuits don't do anything for me.
Can you believe we're like 10 days away from Thanksgiving already? Speaking of
sneaking up on us, Chop.
Yeah,
I feel like you cook for Thanksgiving. I can see that.
Heck yeah! Why? What would you order out?
No, like you personally. I think you personally.
Oh yeah, well, me and my wife, we like to. Everybody comes on over, and yeah, we knock it out. She's the superstar. I just contribute a little bit off the bench.
You're like the. I'm just trying to think. Well, your comp. She's like the James Harden, and you're the Kobe Sanders.
No, it's a little bit disrespectful to me, but okay.
He's a starter.
She's like the Kevin Durant.
Okay.
And I'm like the OKC James Harden. OKC Kevin Durant, OKC. I'm coming off the bench. I'm certainly not as good, but I'm going to contribute now. I'm going to contribute.
Nicholas is saying saltines greater. Saltines are not better than Ritz. Saltines are actually just bad. Saltines are bad. I guess you can put them in your soup. Right?
Wrong.
Saltines stink. I'm sorry.
Better than Ritz.
I mean, no. And Ritz isn't great. So I just don't think I don't get saltines. You saltine guy, Chop?
I mean, I'm not eating salt. I'm not grabbing a handful of saltines and snacking on them individually by themselves. But I don't. When we're talking about a salad, need something to accompany a salad or a soup. Absolutely, sure, why not? But
it needs performance enhancers. It can't do it by itself.
No, I don't think you're. I mean, you're really risking drying your throat out by just eating crackers by themselves. You need.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but I mean, we add salt to food, so why not? We enhance it with salt and pepper. So why not enhance it with some crackers? They serve their purpose. They're good like that. They serve their purpose.
It's like a role player, like PJ Tucker in the corner, that kind of thing.
Not everybody can be Giannis.
Hornets, Raptors, 239.5 is the total. The Raptors are 9-point favorites versus Charlotte. We saw Ball come back. His minutes were limited. They're probably going to be limited to some extent going forward. He didn't play overtime. There's an overtime game. I think it was 27, I want to say, is where they stopped him. So as far as who's in and who's out for this one, well, Brandon Miller, I think he's coming back soon. He's got that shoulder, not playing basketball tonight. Toronto, as healthy as they're going to see him. Agbaji is doubtful. That doesn't really matter. He's got a back. Jamison Battle's questionable. He's got a knee. Doesn't really matter. Toronto is pretty healthy. The Hornets, Cockrunner is back with after having his child. Shout out to him and his family. But Toronto, Hornets, what do you got?
Lots of cracker talk out there, Dina. Derek makes a nice combination. Little saltine with a tuna salad. That's good.
That's gross.
I don't even know about the salad part. I just like tuna. Just a little tuna out of the out of the package with a little mayonnaise.
Yeah, tuna salad. Tuna salad means that there's real mayonnaise in it. What are we doing? Mayonnaise.
You don't like the mayonnaise
across the board? Yeah,
that's how you make tuna, out of a package or a can. I prefer the package, but yeah, with a little. I don't even eat my tuna with bread anymore. I just want the cracker. I just want to stuff it with cracker. So I agree, Derek. A little tuna with saltines is good. The club cracker has been brought up in chat too by Brian. Good call on the club. Cracker? The club goes great with a normal romaine or head of lettuce salad. The club is excellent for the salad. 100%.
I just had to Google it. I've never had it. That box does look familiar. I've never had it before.
A Keebler club cracker. You never had one of them?
I don't think so.
Golly, Dean, you're underprivileged, man. But
I'm just not. I haven't really explored the cracker world, I suppose.
Yeah, you're missing out. All right, Charlotte.
No ceiling.
Fine, Dean. They're like the DeAndre Hunter of tonight's slate thing. You know, good.
Hunter's actually got ceiling. I disagree.
Very little. All right. Chalk City is Emmanuel Quickly. Not Chalk City, but pretty chalky. Yeah, and he kind of deserves to be. He's fine. It's Charlotte. Toronto should be a bit of a more offensive game than some of these other games. So I think Emmanuel Quickly's fine. RJ Barrett's got ceiling when he gets it going. Scotty Barnes is a little bit priced up for me, but he's fine. Brandon Ingram, there's a no ceiling guy, assuming that we're talking about most nights. Some nights, every once in a while he can grab some crazy other stats. Otherwise, he's just scoring dependent. So, but Quickly on that side is fine, and Barrett's really good too. The thing about those two guys is they're pretty similarly projected, Quickly and Barrett. And they're pretty similarly priced, but yet one of them has twice as much ownership as the other. So in GPPs, I guess you're looking the other way then. I guess you're looking for Barrett. On the flip side, Charlotte, oh, man, I don't know. Kalkbrenner, don't even say it, D. Ryan Kalkbrenner he has fantasy upside. He's got a good price. Price doesn't move very much on DraftKings. That's fine. We like that. He can get it done against Toronto. That's fine. Con Knipple, decent. Some of these other guys, LaMelo Ball being back, kind of throws a monkey wrench in some of these other guys. But, yeah, I don't know, Dean. It's an okay game. Kalkbrenner probably my favorite on the Charlotte side.
Defense versus archetype, post big, second best matchup versus Toronto. We are giving Kalkbrenner 27 minutes. He's fine, right? He's got to get some stocks to really hit a ceiling. The most popular play in this game is Quickly, 18%. We're giving 18% to Diabate, who chops those center minutes with Kalkbrenner. I don't get excited about that either. And on FanDuel, Quickly, even more popular, almost 33%. He looks really, really good over there. RJ Barrett, 26%. Scotty Barnes in the teens. By the way, the chat's already upset with me, but I'm gonna continue with this one. Cheese Whiz on all crackers is the bomb. Cheese Whiz is gross, Frederick. It's gross. And Nicholas says goldfish are actually the best crackers for soup. Well, goldfish are not crackers, but they're also terrible. So,
well,
like the pretzel goldfish are kind of good. But
we're gonna have that's quite the debate he's bringing up. Goldfish. Now that I think about it, Dean. They're eerily similar to a cracker.
If somebody, here we go.
Oh, baby, AI. You can't fight AI, man.
Not just AI, they're literally called goldfish crackers.
Well, it's okay. It says, yes, goldfish are a type of snack cracker. It's a type. But if somebody says, you go to somebody's house and they say, hey, you want some crackers? Right? And you're like, yeah, they're in the kitchen. You expect they're going to bring some goldfish to you? No, you're not picturing goldfish. I promise you. You're not expecting goldfish.
I don't expect
goldfish are so pro, they are just classified as goldfish.
I don't expect them to bring me goldfish, but I'm looking at them when they do going, okay, this is a man who knows stuff.
They're in the cracker family. They're cousins. Maybe. But I wouldn't call them name a cracker. You're not going to say goldfish.
Like George Costanza would say, adjacent to cracker is a cracker.
It is cracker adjacent. Okay, we're done with Toronto, Charlotte. One of the overarching themes on this slate is blowouts, is presumed blowouts. And here's another one. OKC at New Orleans. Best team in basketball against one of the worst teams in basketball. 225.5 is a total. Despite we're on the road, the Thunder in Nolens, 17, 18-point favorites, just a monster number. OKC is just blowing people out because they're so good. Alex Caruso is available. I think he had a hand. There's no body part on the injury report, but I think that's what it was. I think it was his hand, I want to say. He's good to go. Wiggins still out with his abductor. Jalen Williams, you've yet to see him this season. Doesn't matter. They don't need him just yet. That's the good Jalen Williams. And then Kenrich Williams is still out with his knee. As far as Nolens, Jordan Poole, he's got a quad. He's out. And Zion, they did play last night. I think there's a chance he plays tonight. That's probably why he wasn't going to play both games. Didn't play yesterday. We're currently projecting him in to start alongside Fears, Murphy, Herb, and Derek Queen. Yeah, I mean, if SGA plays 4 quarters here somehow, he probably is awesome. Or like I don't know. Is New Orleans like shooting the lights out? There's OKC's just kind of off or something like that and kind of rope-a-doping. But again, this feels like a blowout. How do you feel about the Thunder and the Pels?
Ugly. Not really a big fan of this game. I mean, yeah, OKC games can be really bad these days whenever they're not pushed at all, and they won't be pushed at all tonight. There's one guy in this game that I think vaguely stands out as a guy who could make your roster, and that's Derek Queen, just because he's got some offensive skills, and even in a bit of a blowout, they're still probably going to give him a little bit of run. He's so young. So, but the OKC guys, what's there, man? Like, I mean, I'm certainly not spending that kind of money on SGA. If you want to pick one role player like you usually do with OKC, I've said this a dozen times now over the last 2 years, you pick one role player and you hope you get it right, because one guy is going to exceed value, but the other guys just aren't. So you can do that. I prefer not even to have to mess with it. And like I said, on the New Orleans side, it's Derek Queen, and that's it. I mean, he has a little bit of an offensive game, so maybe he gets you there. He's still really fairly priced at 4,700 on DK. That's it, Dean. This game could be a 30-point game here going into the fourth quarter. It legit could.
Does New Orleans play Queen, just develop him, even if they're getting smashed? Does he get extra run if it's a blowout?
I don't think we're talking about extra run, but he's going to get his standard run. Like, he's not a guy I don't think that's going to come off for the whole fourth quarter just because of a blowout. He's going to get his normal minutes and, development, man. He's a young guy, man. He was a babyface kid coming out of college. So, yeah, he's about the only one because he withstands all that blowout run and he still gets his normal minutes. And maybe he gets those minutes late in the game against the OKC backups, which are even better for him.
So I didn't watch this game. Looking at the court IQ stuff, I thought he was in severe foul trouble. The most recent game where he started, I think that was his first start of the career against Golden State. He played like the first 4 minutes or so, and he came out and got a quick hook. Started the second quarter, played the first 6 minutes, and not finished the second quarter. Started the third quarter, played 3 minutes, and got hooked. But he came in the fourth quarter. This was a blowout game. New Orleans lost by 18, and he did play the last 10 minutes of the game, despite being down 18. Like, Murphy didn't close. Sadiq Bey didn't close. Herb didn't close. He was the only starter, if I'm doing this correctly, if I'm reading this correctly, to close. Fears also closed because why not? So it does seem like New Orleans doesn't really care. Fears is another guy who played 25 minutes. Queen played 24 minutes. But he did have really quick hooks along the way. And it's like, wow, did he just not – was he in foul trouble? Why was he out of the game in 3 minutes in the second and third quarter? But I get it. Just seems like they have a plan for these guys. And I guess
maybe that was just matchup based. Maybe I mean I didn't watch that game, but you're against Golden State. They can be kind of a tricky matchup sometimes by being very small. I don't know. I'm just throwing spitball in here on why he would get the hook at the beginning of a quarter so quick.
Yeah, but does New Orleans even care about that stuff? I don't know.
Well, they're gonna be like nobody wants to step out there and be a total loser. Like, they're trying. Everybody's trying, from the coaches down to the players. But by the way, their coach got canned too here recently, so maybe that plays When did he get fired?
I didn't see that. I heard they were talking about firing him.
I thought he did get fired over the weekend.
If that happened, I missed it. I did see it. They asked him about like how at home games they don't announce him. Like, you always announce the coach, and they just don't announce him because maybe for fear of the crowd booing. I know he's been on the hot seat all season long. I didn't see news that he got canned, but maybe I just missed it.
Yes, the New Orleans Pelicans fired Willie Green on Saturday.
Didn't see it.
November 15th. Yeah. So that means that maybe, just maybe, there's been a directive from the front office. Hey, man, let's get some of these younger guys going, So maybe that's a direction they are, and maybe that bodes well for Queen and for Fears.
Who is the new coach now? Is it an interim, I assume?
James Borrego.
Oh, okay. All right. Wasn't Borrego was the head coach for
Charlotte?
Yeah. Okay. I knew that name sounded familiar. Okay. And that does make sense. That was probably a directive to start Queen, and they're getting killed, and rightfully so, for trading their first round pick. That's going to be precious for Queen. So they want to like try to justify it, I suppose. Okay. Let's talk about another blowout. Again, a lot of scheduled blowouts tonight. Dallas, Minnesota. Dallas is playing the back half of back-to-back. They're also traveling as well. They are, 231.5 is the total. Minnesota is a 15-point home favorite as far as who's in and who's out in this one. Well, are we ever going to see Anthony Davis play basketball for Dallas? There's supposedly another directive. He's probably going to get traded. He's still out with his calf. Remember, he was like questionable, I think he was questionable a week or two ago. Yeah, highly questionable. Gafford is still out with his ankle. Lively is out. That's injury management stuff. So both those bigs are not playing here. Flag is available with his thumb. Dante Exum, we've not seen play basketball the entire season for Minnesota. Minnesota's clean. Terrence Shannon's out, but that doesn't really matter. Dante DiVincenzo still on the injury report, despite playing through. Just playing with a face mask. He's playing with a face mask. I don't know why he keeps popping up on the injury report because it's nothing really new. It's just he's just playing with a face mask. How do we feel about Minnesota versus Dallas? Again, it does feel like a scheduled shellacking, and we are projecting Musa Cisse to draw the start for Dallas because, again, they are thin on bigs. So he's an interesting potential cheapie. Maybe they start Dwight Powell. I guess it could be him too, but yeah.
I don't know. Shellac City, Dean. Shellac City. Yeah, I don't know. Dallas, Brandon Williams, I guess. Cisse, we've already talked about some other guys under 4K. I think probably a little bit better. So, but Brandon Williams is in play here. I think Cooper Flags. Man, I don't know. I know he has game. He has potential. I think he's, So if I told you a player was going to get 40 points tonight at 7,100, would you be okay with that in GPPs?
How many points?
$7,100 is a salary, and he's going to get you 40 DK points.
I'm good with that.
Then I think Flag's in play for you then, because I think Flag he's starting to figure some things out. The guy was he's still very young, Dean. Like not just rookie young, but like in real life, like he reclassified when he was a senior in high school. So he should be a freshman in college right now. That's how young he is. He's just starting to figure things out a little bit. So I think he reclassified, came to college 1 year earlier, was a freshman in college when he should have been a senior. So he should be a freshman right now with all these other guys. Instead, he's in the NBA. So I think he's starting to figure it out. He's a really good fantasy player. He will be. So I'm good with that. PJ Washington, I remember when we got him for $3,000 opening night. That was fun. 6,900, probably still like borderline worth it because of all the injuries, but I don't think I'll go there. But on the flip side, it's a blowout. So, what are you going to do with Minnesota? I think you pick a guy, maybe two guys, but one guy at the most. I think when I look at this match, of course, Anthony Edwards could always get there, but when I look at this matchup against Dallas, you're going to kill him on the inside, points in the paint, and rebound. There's one particular guy on this roster that does those things very well. I'm getting to it, Dean. My gosh.
I was just playing the game. I was guessing.
No, I didn't even ask yet. I didn't say, do you know who that is, Dean? I didn't say, you know who that is, Dean? There's one particular guy on this roster who does those things very well. You know who it is, Dean?
You know what? I don't. I'm stumped. Who is it?
His name is Julius Randle. He leads this Minnesota team scoring points in the paint, and he's a phenomenal rebounder. So Julius Randle probably would be my pick on the Minnesota side if I had to pick one. Not sure I'm going to pick any though, because like we've been talking about, this thing could be ugly, man.
Yeah, it certainly does feel like a blowout. You never really know in the association, but I don't know if I want to play Randall and Edwards together. If I do, I would play somebody on Dallas, but I'm probably not doing that because I only make so many lineups. Did you have a take on Cisse, Chop? What we've seen, a fair bit of blocks. The blocks are good. The boards are good. No threes. He's around the basket. Gets dunks and boards and blocks. Does he interest you as a potential cheapie? Does it matter if he starts or doesn't start? I think we're going to probably get around 20 minutes or so either way, I think. Our current projection is I just lost it. We're giving him 24 minutes. 20, and we're giving 17 to Powell for what it's worth. You did mention Williams. They're just kind of bouncing back and forth with Williams and Russell. I wouldn't play them together. If Russell has really, really bad floor games, but sometimes he's a spark off the bench and at a cost to Williams. So I would definitely, if you're running stuff, cap that at 1. And it's hard to predict which one of the two are going to get there if one gets there. But you have a Cisse take as a potential cheapie. Like, is he better than Diabate? Is he better than Cockrunner as far as a cheap center?
No, I think he's very limited in what he's going to do out there for you fantasy wise. I think I would probably amongst the cheapy guys. Who's the guy we talked about 3,300 earlier? Guard.
Sanders.
I think I go Kobe Sanders now. But I mean, I don't know that I need any one of those really super cheap guys tonight. I mean, you can get a really good DeAndre Hunter price tag and some other stuff. So I don't know. I mean, but Cisse's got a limited ceiling more than likely, unless he it's one of those crazy outlier games, it's 5 blocks or something, which I don't expect. So
Roth in chat, by the way, and this is his team, Dallas. He's touting up Cisse. He says Cisse looks like more of a fantasy point minute guy. If he starts, I'm lock buttoning that dude. I don't think it's a big usage. Yeah, 15% usage, 1.1 fantasy points per minute in the season for Cisse. But again, a lot of that is that's boards and it's blocks and it's putback stuff. No threes. Kind of an old school 5, I suppose. Looks pretty active though.
So yeah, he hasn't started a game this year. So if he starts, well then okay. Now we start raising some questions. Oh, are they going to give him even more run? So if he starts, it's an intriguing point. If he doesn't start, he is what he is as far as the ceiling tonight. You know what I mean?
I think you can argue it wouldn't necessarily hurt him a ton if he doesn't start. They'll probably start Dwight Powell. They're probably going to lose by 15 or 20, and he would just crush in the fourth quarter against, I don't know, Joe Ingles.
I mean, he's crushing in the fourth quarter regard. Even if he starts, he's crushing in the fourth quarter.
You think if this game is close and he's not starting,
who's going to close? Dwight Powell. I mean, they know what Dwight Powell is. They know what Washington and PJ Washington might not see the game in the fourth quarter, might not see the court in the fourth quarter. So,
Kevin Roth, he'll be in there in a minute. Kevin Roth, he says if they give Powell more than 12 minutes, I'll eat my hat. Well, he's probably going to get more than 12, but yeah, I don't know how many hats you have available, Roth. But the point is fair that nobody wants to play Dwight Powell. I know he's still mid. Roth coming in, by the way, shortly with I think it's Kirkwood and Beer. They'll be jumping in here at crunch time, taking you guys home. Anything else of note as far as Dallas and Minnesota? We do have the last game on the FanDuel only slate. Again, Chop, I don't know if you're ready for it. Another blowout on layaway. Toughest place to play in the NBA on the back half of a back-to-back is the elevation there in Denver. It's a little bit easier with their, they're not fully stocked, Denver, because they are dealing with some injuries. They have lost. Now I'm losing my page. My apologies. I was thrown off there for a second. Yeah, Christian Brown is out for a while with an ankle. Cameron Johnson, which might be a benefit he doesn't play. He's been horrendous. There's been some bad offseason acquisitions. Like Desmond Bain, I thought would be working in Orlando a lot better. Still time. Johnson's been really doing a poor job acclimating to Denver. He's currently questionable with he's got biceps. But you got the Joker, and that's all that matters. And he's just outrageous. We saw Tim Hardaway Jr. step up in the starting lineup, play pretty well in the absence of Brown. Bruce Brown also got some extra burn for Denver. Chicago back half of back-to-back and travel. They're without Ayu Dosunmu. Dosunmu's available. They're without Trey Jones. And Kobe White came back last night. Cannot play the back half of back-to-back just yet. So he is sitting. So we saw Kobe White last night. No White tonight. We're expecting Giddey, Herter, Okoro, Bazelis, and Vukovic to start here for the Bulls. This is FanDuel only, Chop. If you have the salary for Joker, by all means, have a good time. He's still just doing his thing and just completely outrageous. He should smash once again. How do you feel about Denver and the Bulls?
This is FanDuel only, Dean.
Yes.
So now we got to think about Jokic and his position eligibility.
Center.
Yeah, and look at the centers that you could be playing tonight that are center only. So, you got to make some decisions there. As good as he is, and he's the best raw, points guy, is it worth it to spend that money on him or go with a Jalen Duren or somebody like that for cheaper? So, it's a good question. But then, the Chicago backcourt, the Sumo is fine. Peyton Watson, fairly cheap on FanDuel. Cheap enough. I think he's okay. I think he's in play. The Giddey's okay. 96 might be a little bit too much, though. I don't think I want to spend that on him, but he's got obviously big time 3-stat, explosion when he gets on his game. Otherwise, I don't know, man. I'm not buying the Tim Hardaway one-off game or any of the other guys. It's a decision of Jokic versus the other center-only eligible guys. And do you have room on your roster for Dosunmu or Peyton Watson?
Murray's projecting really well on FanDuel, 29% ownership, the most popular player in this game. It is interesting. We have Joker at 12%. We're giving him 63 fantasy points as a median projection. 63 not enough, right? You're not devastated.
Not even close.
But he can give you 80, 85, in 3 quarters. If he can do that against the Chicago team, it wouldn't be shocking. We're showing, as far as other centers, most popular centers on this slate, Towns. Well, Towns, you can play at power forward. I think that's where you're probably more likely to play him. But Drummond, center and center only, the most popular center and center only guy. Expected to play 30 minutes here tonight with Philadelphia being pretty thin. Zubac at 15%, Gobert at 15%.
Duren is the one guy that makes me think.
We have Duren at 4% on FanDuel, which is
because everybody wants to play. Maybe everybody wants to play Jokic. Interesting.
All right. Crunch time is here. Chat is Klay Thompson with? I don't follow is he with Megan Thee Stallion? Are they an item? Are they a thing?
You didn't know that, Dean? My goodness,
I don't know, man.
Come on, man.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't keep up with that. I hope they're happy. Good for them. Yeah. This is the real. This is not the imposter with Klay Thompson. This is the real Klay Thompson.
Oh, that gets me thinking. Oh man, he could pull some shenanigans. I
don't follow this. Why is it so surprising? I try not to keep up with the gossip, but sometimes it's just you can't help but notice it. But crunch time's here, Chop. I need the slate breaker. I need the plums play, and conserve your plums because I know you got to give some plums out later for football. You have multiple plums to give out tonight, I assume. Give me a basketball plum.
I'm going with lots to choose from, Dean. Lots of chalk, I'm going Andre Drummond, Dean. I'm going Andre Drummond to throw back a game where I'm going to go Andre Drummond 2020 game, Dean. 2020 vision. How about that?
The old school Barbara Walters.
He's got it in him, and I like this matchup for him.
All right, let's do it. Let's seamlessly segue. Crunch time is here. Chief Mineralogist Kevin Roth holding it down. He cannot wait to talk about how terrible Dwight Powell is. Kirkwood, Kirkdiese, as well as Beermakersfan. Let's do it. Seamlessly segue. Crunch time right now. Not sure if you guys are listening earlier. This has got to be a beer question. I'll start with beer. Beer. Crackers. Are crackers good? Are they good? And what's your favorite cracker?
We're talking the food, right?
Yes.
Okay. Crackers are good with something else. Crackers are good with cheese. Crackers are good in soup, chili. On their own, they're okay. Like, it's not the first thing you reach for. It's not terrible, but yeah, that's my take. Got crackers and cheese are elite, though.
Are goldfish crackers?
They are, but if you're over the age of 15, you probably shouldn't be eating goldfish.
Goldfish should have names on it the other way.
It's a kid snack. My kids love them things. We buy them by the case at Costco, but I don't ever find myself digging into the goldfish.
Roth is kicking into Grandpa's cough medicine, it seems like. What's up, Roth? Do you have a take on crackers and goldfish and things of that sort?
Yeah, the more I do shows with beer, the more I realized his food takes are always correct. He's just spot on. I have nothing to add. Beer is correct.
Roth, you don't get this big on accident.
Yeah, it's experience talking.
A lot of beer, a lot of food.
It is Monday, so you know what that means. We're drinking, we're gambling, we're doing all the fun things tonight.
Kirkwood, how are things?
Yeah, I want to dive a little deeper into this crackers situation.
Sure.
For especially the goldfish. I have my cabinet full of goldfish for the kid. My boy loves goldfish. The problem I have, now that I think about it, is that a cracker needs cheese on it. You're not putting cheese on a goldfish. It's also, I've never really taken goldfish and put them in my soup. So it's like everything that I know about a cracker, I wouldn't say that goldfish are, even though they are a cracker. I think at first glance you say, yes, it's a cracker. Once you think about it, is it?
If it's not a cracker, though, what is it?
I don't know. That's why we need more conversation. Cracker-like.
Bodie brings up a good question. I'm going to cut you off, Kirkwood. This is important. We talked about this on Friday. We're going to get the crunch time in a second, but Roth paid, I think it was $300 American to get a fire truck for your child's birthday. How did that go down?
It was awesome. It was so fun. You get to break out the hose, and they did a ride along. All of the neighbors hate us because we took up all the parking spots, and then we had the fire truck going like up and down the road, blasting sirens. But it was worth it. It was just a hell of a party. So yeah, 10 out of 10 would recommend the fire truck.
Are there no kids in the neighborhood? The neighborhood kids are not invited.
They're not invited. Yeah.
Oh, it's exclusive part.
That's right. Yeah. So we live like in the cul-de-sac across the street. So like my cul-de-sac is invited. If you're across the street, you're the rich people, not invited.
The train tracks are
That's
so
right.
They were not okay, fair enough. They
don't cross the tracks.
Yeah, but they were like peeking out the blinders, and that looks like so much fun.
Yes, all of that.
All right. Well, now what are we doing next year? The bar has been raised. Like you got to start thinking about it because
we're gonna get Megan Thee Stallion.
So Dean, have you been following the Cardi B and Offset stuff? If you're following Megan Thee Stallion,
no, I'm not. I don't know. Are they an item too? Congratulations to them.
No, they were an item. Now Steph Diggs is an item, but.
Is that what the boat? Was she on the boat?
Diggs got a lot of items going on.
Diggs does a lot of digging, but
yes, he does.
Yeah, they're just getting after each other. I guess Offset is stalking her, kind of.
If Offset and Cardi B can't make it in the world, like what hope is there for the rest of us? You know what I mean? That's the way I see it. Are they no longer a thing? Did I get that correct?
Yeah, sure. Correct. They are no longer a thing.
Well, I hopefully they'll Offset will bounce back. But myself and Chop, we're gonna get out of here. Chop's gonna be back in about an hour and 10 minutes talking some Cowboys football as well as Vegas. Talking a little Monday Night Football, but you guys got 39 minutes, plenty of time to talk about tonight's 7-game slate. Bogdanovich probably officially in. Paul George officially in. Mathurin officially in. Agbaji, doesn't matter, is out. Roth, it's all yours. Take it away.
Good stuff. As always, welcome to it. Ladies and gents, you know the drill. It's crunch time. Diggs is going to be broke in like 5 years, right? Are we all in agreement? 5-10 years?
I don't know if he makes it that long.
He's just living the life, man.
You can't have 4 kids on the way from 4 different women as a professional athlete. They're all going to take you, bud. What are you thinking? Anyways, welcome to Crunch Time. You know the drill. It's 2 of the sharpest minds in the industry. You got food takes, you got celebrity takes, and certainly you got hoop takes as well. Beer, how you feeling about the slate?
I like it. It's, I like this kind of 6, 7, 8 gamer. It gets to be overwhelming when it's 10, 11, 12 games with the injuries and things like that. The different slates can get annoying as well. Or, when it's 2 to 3 games, a lot of overlap. So this is the wheelhouse. So I like this slate. We got some football tonight. So Mondays are always fun. Give us something coming off the weekend to look forward to. And I see
Cheers.
You're doing it right, Roth.
Yeah,
that's what you should be doing on a Monday.
Monday's the best party day of the week. I stand by that. I got Kirkdiese in the house as well. Kirky, you feeling good about the slate? And could you give me a general, these are the spots we're targeting, this is the biggest news kind of breakdown?
I think there's only one piece of new news we're waiting on. It's Zion. We don't have an official word yet, and it's pretty big. But the thing about this slate, Roth, is that it's a lot of high totals, a lot of high spreads. I mean, rather. So it's we do have 7 or 8 games depending on which site, but you got Denver favored by close to 14. Chicago's coming off of a back-to-back, I think overtime going into altitude. So that's a bad spot. So I feel pretty confident in that Denver takes care of business. You got OKC playing this New Orleans team that's just whittled down and stinks anyway. You look at it and they're favored by 17.5. You've got your team who stinks, Dallas Mavericks. Right now they're just missing a ton of players. They're going to Minnesota. Minnesota's favored by 14. Then a game that's reasonable is Charlotte Toronto, but it's still an 8.5 point spread. And then we've got the Clippers of Philly, and the Clippers are been playing a ton of games coming off of back-to-back or 4 and 6 or something crazy, with playing Harden a ridiculous amount of minutes. Just doesn't feel like a good spot for them in Philly. So there's 2 games. And then Detroit's favored by 11. So where do we have a tight spread? We really don't. We have Milwaukee-Cleveland game, which is 6 points, and then we've got the New York-Miami game, which is 1.5 points. So long story short, there's a lot of blowout risk everywhere in this slate.
Okay. Well, you can take advantage of that. Obviously, it can burn you, but also you could just play the scrubs in some of those games.
Oh, we're not scared. We established that when we talked Wolf last week, which didn't pan out. But hey, the game didn't blow out. It did not blow out.
Yep. Let's see. Oh, by the way, Hoosiers Hang Banner says solid NFL lineup. Kirk, saw you in a few contests above. You have a big weekend.
I had a good weekend on Yahoo. I stayed up way too late after UFC till 3 a.m. So I was so tired, I overslept. So I didn't do any DraftKings or FanDuel, which I should have done, but I just played Yahoo, and I played a good amount of volume at least.
Kid Yahoo, baby.
It was good. And I beat everyone by 40 points and the smaller field stuff. But I had the nut. Jacob. People wanted to play JJ McCarthy, which the guy stinks. All right, and we had Jacoby there. We had all the value sitting in that game. Garbage time was delightful. CMC went off. So yeah, it was a good week for football. Beer had a big sweat in a millie. I think he finished 21st. Noto won with he's mainly a single entry type player, and he had a good week. So TJ had a good week. So everyone who was on our show had a good week. So I love that.
Very nice. And I did see some people kind of tweeting about the show saying, hey, I watched the show. You guys won me a lot of money. So good job on that. But we're not here to talk about what we did last night. We're here to win some money right here, right now. And to do that, we're going to start with some FanDuel talk. Beer, kick it off with point guard on FanDuel for me.
So the first name to talk about, I think, is Davion Mitchell. I think he's a great cash game play. Tournaments, we're looking at probably over 40% owned. Always makes you a little nervous. Now, this game, like Kirk mentioned, this is the appealing game because it's the highest total on the slate and a 1.5 point spread. Miami playing incredibly fast. The Knicks are down a bunch of bodies. So I get the reasons why the ownership's there, but he feels more like a classic cash game play where I don't want to really eat into that ownership. So he's going to see some ownership. I think Quickly is going to be highly owned. I would rather go that route against Charlotte, spend a little bit more. So I do like him. Murray's another guy that's going to be pretty highly owned against Chicago. That one I don't really love either. So guys, I like paying up tonight to be contrarian. Tyrese Maxey's ownership shocks me. I mean, I get Paul George is back, but they're going to ease him in. He's not going to play a full allotment. You have no Embiid, no Oubre. They're missing a lot of offense here, and he's going to get some time against James Harden, who we know plays about as much defense as we do. So Maxey's been incredible. The floor is there. The ceiling is there. He's gone over on DraftKings. I know we're talking FanDuel, but I know he's gone over 65 times already this season. So really love him. As far as value, if you don't want to play Davion Mitchell, I think both Miles McBride and Jordan Clarkson are interesting in that same price range. McBride wasn't great the other night, so that's going to help keep his ownership down. Clarkson played really well. They're missing a lot of pieces with Brunson out, Anunoby out. So those guys, to me, are much better tournament options than playing a 40, 50% owned Davion Mitchell. So, and there's other guy. AJ Mitchell's been incredible for OKC. You could get a lot of blowout time for these teams too. Something a lot of people may not factor in. The Thunder, the Timberwolves, Denver, Detroit. Some of these big team spreads may get some additional time. So Case and Wallace, guys like that become a lot more interesting on a slate like this.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned Mitchell. I'm playing him, but in the last 8 games he's played, he's only had 1 game with 10 or more shots. Like that's not the kind of dude I want in a GPP. Maybe I'll end up pivoting off him. Kirk, what are your thoughts at point guard on FanDuel?
Point guard on FanDuel. So I like Quickly the best when you talk about price. 6,700. I think the Charlotte's a great matchup. The problem with Quickly is that there's a lot of mouths to feed, and they have like their starting lineup are all like pretty good players, right? Like Scotty Barnes, Brandon Ingram. So the ceiling is isn't the best, but he's been balling lately. He's been playing much better, so I've been watching him and I like him. He had a really good string there for a minute and then fell off in his last game against the Pacers, but I think it's a good bounce back spot for him to have a really nice game in this matchup. If you want the ceiling, I think Donovan Mitchell with a bunch of people out and against Milwaukee is a good play here. James Harden rates out as a great play, and I would love Harden tonight. It's after the weekend where he's played all weekend. We know about James Harden after the weekends and during the weekends, but he's just played so many freaking minutes. So yesterday he played 38 minutes. Then 2 days before that on Friday night, he had 51 minutes in that game. So I worry about his efficiency tonight. Feels like a game, and he's back in Philly. He didn't like it in Philly and just doesn't feel. I just don't think he's going to do well. So I'm not going to play him, even though it is tempting. Tyrese Maxey would be my guy, like Beer said, from a minute standpoint, just like 40 minutes in the bank, as long as the game is remotely competitive. So I like that. And then I like Deuce McBride, but he's much better play over on DraftKings where he's much cheaper. But I think he's going to have a really solid game. Miami's a great, they play so fast. They're just a great matchup, especially they're the second best matchup for opposing point guards. So,
yeah. Okay, shooting guard. What do you do at shooting guard?
Yeah, shooting guard. You can play Quickly, Mitchell. All the same guys are shooting guard eligible on
Cade is
FanDuel.
out. Just getting this from Tides.
Thought he'd be back today. Signs
so
a
we
big
get
Nike deal.
So you lock in Jenkins again is what happens.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And Thompson's out as well.
Oh boy, so we're gonna need projections there. That changes. That's why I don't enter on nights I do crunch time shows, because I just could never get all this going. So Jenkins will be the guy for sure. He has been balling when Cade's out. Duran was also a phenomenal play, will be. But back to shooting guard. I like RJ Barrett. I like the spot for all these guys on Toronto against Charlotte. Jamal Murray is a guy that could be very efficient, and it might just be like they let Jamal Murray just goes nuts against Chicago. He has those games where he just goes off. And this is certainly a game where I think that any of those guys can go off whoever they want. Another one like that, Anthony Edwards has talked about all offseason, and he's lived up to it when he has like easy matchups to just put the pedal to the metal and score for his score numbers. And that's what Dallas is so thin. They have nobody protecting the paint tonight. And Anthony Edwards can do whatever he wants. It could be a Julius Randle game as well, but I'll side with Anthony Edwards. And then my last play, I think Norman Powell's a really strong play. I like that Knicks Heat game.
Okay, very good. Beer, your thoughts at shooting guard?
Love Norman Powell. He appeared in the video today. I mean, they need offense. No Hero, no Adebayo, so he's been as consistent as hell. I mean, 20 or more points in 7 straight games, I believe it is. The problem is he doesn't do much on top of that. He chips in a little bit, but his points prop this morning was up at like 26.5. So he's a great play at very little ownership tonight. I like the quickly call. I would shift him over here to shooting guard to jam more point guards in your lineup. Donovan Mitchell, Kirk nailed that one as well. Some value I think is interesting here. We talked about McBride. He's interesting. Some of the OKC guys, again, I think you want to go to some of these blowout teams, whether it's Isaiah Joe, Cason Wallace, even Lou Dort, who may get an extra run. Now, Dort probably doesn't fit that bill, but the other two certainly do. So they are interesting to me. We mentioned AJ Mitchell. If I'm playing Maxey, I do like the pairing with Harden, and just spending up on those two guys. So a little correlation there in a game that, should be close, should be competitive. Now the total in that game, not as high, unfortunately, at just 220.5, but I think that correlation is super interesting as well.
Very good. Let's go to small forward, Beer.
Small forward, I like some of these Knicks guys, Bridges and Hart. Hart, I think, is going to be much higher owned. He's 1,000 cheaper. They both project kind of the same, but I think Bridges is a little bit more interesting at this ownership. But both guys in play. Hart's finally getting unleashed, playing a little bit more. We know he's a triple-double level upside kind of guy. Doesn't generally get a ton of offense, ton of shots, so that holds him back a little bit. But FanDuel, we want all those other stats, and he certainly packs the stat sheet. So both of those guys are in play. I think both Toronto guys are in play against Charlotte. RJ Barrett feels a little bit too cheap at 6,600, and even Scotty Barnes at 88 is in play here tonight. And then some of the Dallas guys, they're missing all of their bigs. So PJ Washington at 6,300, super interesting here. We'll get to Najee Marshall as well. He's small forward eligible here on FanDuel, so I think he steps in and plays a bigger role. He's the one I really like tonight. I don't think he's going to garner a ton of ownership, and he can step in and play any of the 5 positions. So they're going to need him, blow out a concern, but when a team is this thin, these guys are going to have to play a lot of minutes. So Najee Marshall really stands out tonight as a great value at very, very little ownership.
Silent.
Damn, I think that's the first time I think literally in 10 years here, that's the first time I've ever muted myself.
Yeah, I can't ever remember you doing that in all of our time together.
And here I was complimenting you, by the way, on the Najee Marshall take. Absolutely love it is what I was saying. Kirk, what are you doing at small forward?
So, okay, I got a couple plays I like here. So obviously Josh Hart with Brunson and OG Anunoby out. So Hart is like a triple-double waiting to happen again. So I like him. I like Jaime Jaquez. Now, who I really like, who I think gets a sneaky high boost, is Andrew Wiggins. He goes from OG Anunoby guarding him to Pele Larson. So this is like a massive improved matchup for him. So Wiggins is my favorite play on the Heat tonight, and I like that game, obviously, with Brunson and OG out and Bam Adebayo out. Scotty Barnes and RJ Barrett, both good plays. Mikal Bridges, awesome play. Saw a ton. He played – what were his minutes? I don't have it right in front of me. His minutes, Mikal Bridges, on Friday night when they first played were ridiculous. Yeah, he played 42 minutes. So – if they're comfortable playing this guy massive minutes in this matchup against the Heat that it just plays so fast, I'm definitely interested. And then Anthony Edwards again. PJ Washington, just because Dallas doesn't have much, but again, 6,300, I think that's a pretty decent play, but I don't think he has a massive ceiling is the only problem with that guy. But, and then you can play Norman Powell here. You can play like a lot of the guys we talked about.
Yeah. All right. How about power forward?
All right. Power forward. Cat just dominated this team. They did play him a little bit tighter in the second half, double teamed and whatnot, but he could do anything he wants. He took a massive amount of 3-point shots in that game and just had sky high usage. So without Brunson and no Bam Adebayo protecting the paint, he's a smash. And Kalal Ware is pretty bad defender, slow to move. So Cat should be able to do what he wants in this game. Giannis, there's enough value to make him work tonight. So he's in play. I already said Andrew Wiggins. If you want to play someone on OKC, New Orleans is just so bad. I think this could be a good Chet Holmgren spot to be pretty efficient, pretty fast, rack up a bunch of points. So I like him. And then John Collins is only 5,100. They're so thin, the Clippers tonight, that he's just going to have to play a ton of minutes. He's rough. He can get foul trouble, all that we know about him, but he also can hit some threes and he can have some big games when he's boarding, getting rebounds and getting dunks and whatnot. So like him.
Yeah. Okay. Beer, your thoughts of power forward?
Love the Towns call. That's one I'm not afraid to play into some of the ownership, but we know we're going to get, a high usage guy in a good matchup in a fast paced game, close total.
That rebounds and shoots threes. He does all the things you want. It's
right.
Great.
So, 9,500. We talked about how he was too cheap last week. Even now, I still think he's a little bit cheap. So Giannis is fine if you can get there. 12-3 can be tough to swallow, and you're choosing, do I play Jokic? Do I play Giannis? Do I, get up to some of the higher end point guards? So he's going to be, under 20% owned, I would guess, tonight. Another game that should be very competitive. So don't mind that at all. Evan Mobley at 8,900, I think is interesting against this Milwaukee team. We're showing under 10% ownership on him in tournaments, so I like that. We mentioned PJ Washington at 6,300. He's too cheap, with some of these guys missing out of the lineup. So really like him tonight. I like the Chet call as well. He should be loaned. Aaron Gordon has put some big games on the board. He's only 5,900 against Chicago. So I like that. And then we got to keep an eye on New Orleans. Derek Queen, I like a lot better on DraftKings we'll get to, but if Zion is out and now we have Sadiq Bey questionable as well, Queen's a guy that's playing minutes and, they're giving him opportunities, and it's a highly touted prospect. So again, more playable on DraftKings, but still pretty cheap over here at 5,500, especially if both those guys are out. I think he becomes one of the better value plays on the slate.
Okay, very good. We did get some news, Beer, that the Dallas guy Cisse is starting. Mm-hmm. And I said literally, if he's starting, I'm lock buttoning this guy. Yeah. Am I going to regret that choice, Beer?
I don't think so. I think, opportunity knocks, and how many times have we seen it? One guy forgot in the point guard section, that same team, Brandon Williams, been playing, very well. So look at Dennis Jenkins. Some of these guys get opportunity that they can run with it. So I don't hate that at all. They need some big bodies. So as much as I like Marshall in Washington, he certainly can play. Now, FanDuel, it's a little tougher. Am I locking him in? And that's the only center I have. It makes it a little more challenging.
Yeah. What do you like here at it's Kirk for power forward, right?
Nope. I think he did his.
Yeah, center.
My bad.
So center, again, Jokic, 12-8 is a lot. I mean, I'm never going to fault anybody for playing Nikola Jokic, but that is a hefty salary. So I am not going to go there personally, and it's always scary, going against Nikola Jokic. You don't have him, but if I can get Karl Anthony Towns at 9,500, Jalen Duren without Cade, without Thompson at 8,200, I think he's probably my favorite play tonight against Indiana. I think Zubac is in play against Philadelphia and some of their backups. And then Andre Drummond, I think, is phenomenal value at 5,700. So you could play Jokic. I just think there's a lot of options here where you can save some money and allocate that salary elsewhere.
Yeah. Kirk?
Drummond. they gave, he's played like 35 minutes in each of the games that Towns has missed in the last like 3. And they don't have Bona or whatever his name is again tonight. So he should just play all the center minutes. And I think he smashes against this tired Clippers team. Zubac's just been playing way too much too as well. So I think this is a Drummond night. I also like Jalen Duran, especially with Cade out now. I think you could see a massive, massive game from him. Like those are like the plays that and Cat again. Those are like the feel so strong about 3. I don't want to go anywhere. I think Musa Cisse. I think he's definitely a good play that you could absolutely play that guy. He should play a boatload of minutes. He can produce some fantasy points.
Right, but he just doesn't have the upside of some of these other dudes.
Yeah, and Derek Queen is another guy you could play too.
Yeah.
But again, and your Cisse is getting Gobert.
Is that good or bad? I'm not even sure.
I don't know. Like prop for him, probably bad.
That's true. That's true for him. Yeah, that's a good point. Let's see. Oh, I want to go to FanDuel here. Before we do that, I want to make sure you're getting the best deal in the industry. If you want NFL DFS access this season, well, you should just get all the sports instead of one of the sports. Combo Pro. For a limited time, get your first month of Combo Pro for $79.99. It's only $5 more than an NFL DFS monthly subscription. It's elite value. And also, if you're playing NBA DFS and you're just looking at the box score, I catch myself doing that sometimes. You don't know how good those shots were. All right, some guy was hit 15 shots. Turns out they were all terrible shots and he got lucky. Well, shot quality gives you the most predictive data in basketball, breaks down every shot to show what should have gone in, not just what did go in. Get a 3-day trial for free with the link in the description. By the way, it renews monthly for $39.99. Let's go to DK. Kirkwood, you can start us off with some point guard talk. What are we doing?
All right. Point guard. Sorry, I should have been quicker. I like Emmanuel quickly again. I think Jenkins is now the best play on the slate, probably. 5,800, just been smashing. Pacers are a good matchup. Just play them. This is like late value. Maybe everybody didn't, all the projection guys are going to have them, but a lot of the ham builders may miss out on this one. Deuce McBride is just too cheap, 4,300. Quickly again, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 10.8 is that's a reasonable price tag. Like he could, in 3 quarters of work, he could absolutely blow through against this Pelicans team. So don't be scared to play him. I think he's a good stud tonight. Maxey, I've been toying with Brandon Williams here and there. Not the greatest matchup against Minnesota, but I kind of like his game from offensive standpoint. So when he's rolling, he can do damage at 5,100.
Yeah, Beer, your thoughts at DK?
Yeah, Jenkins easily the best play. We'll see where his ownership ends up once we get to lock. But
and he is starting officially as we would expect.
Yep. So he won't be as highly owned as he should be, but we'll say that. I was expecting Cade back. I think that was the sentiment out there. So this one a lot of people may miss out on. He's still going to be pretty highly owned. We know that the audience has gotten a lot sharper out there, but 5,800, great price on him. Good matchup with Indiana. So and Davion Mitchell, I mentioned on FanDuel, I didn't really like, but over here, probably closer to 20% owned. So like that number a lot better on him. Over here, you're going to get a lot of Miles McBride at 4,300. So again, cash games here, fine with that. Tournament, I don't know. I want a 40% owned Deuce McBride. So I'll avoid that one. Maxey, a little bit more expensive over here, but again, 10.5 with one of the highest ceilings on this entire slate. He projects closely with Shai, and I know a lot of that has to do with the blowout potential there, but he's going to be 7-8% owned. I'm all about that. So Brandon Williams, I do like at 5,100. Clarkson, I think is a better tournament play than Miles McBride at 5,200. So a lot of ways you can go here, but Jenkins, to me, a must in cash, and even in tournaments, he's one of the first guys I'm throwing in.
Yeah. Okay. Shooting guard.
Donovan Mitchell is interesting at 9,200. Again, we should get a close competitive game there. I like Mikal Bridges a lot. Seems everyone's excited about Josh Hart. I like Hart as well. You can play them both in the same lineup, but I like Bridges at a lot lower ownership. Norman Powell in play over here. His price is pretty similar across the board, so 7,300, not too shabby there. Clarkson you can utilize here. 52 is a little higher than I'd like on Clarkson, but I still think there's plenty of value there for him. And then I go back to the OKC guys. If you really want to take a shot, I don't see, anything can happen, but I just don't see, especially if no Zion, how New Orleans even stays on the floor with this team. So the value with OKC is a way that you can get different, save yourself some money, and spend that money elsewhere. So again, Isaiah Joe, Mitchell's a little more expensive, obviously at 63, but some of these other guys, Cason Wallace, interesting. So that's something I would build into some of my tournament rosters is some OKC bench players.
Okay, very good. Kirk, your thoughts at shooting guard?
Donovan Mitchell and Anthony Edwards, one of those guys, play one of them. Love them both. Miles McBride, you can play him here at shooting guard too. I know Beer's fading him. I think he has a good game here against Miami. Jaime Jaquez, definitely in play again. Mikal Bridges, already said the massive amount of minutes. Just a great matchup for all the stocks, rebounds, assists, everything he does. Could be a great game for him. Norman Powell, I said I like him here as well. Brandon Ingram. Last, if you're in the mood for a nipple, con nipple.
Yes, I'm glad you mentioned him. I did play him, and I was hoping that was legitimate. Let's go to small forward, Kirk.
All right. DeAndre Hunter is just too cheap. He's 4,500.
Look at Yo Mama says any Hunter just seems too cheap at 4,500.
Exactly. He just is too cheap. So
that price is crazy.
Yeah. He could go off this matchup, and they're going to need him to play a ton of minutes. Kobe Sanders is getting the start on the Clippers. 3,300. How bad can it be? I don't see much ceiling, but you never know. Nipple, PJ Washington, Landry Shamet played. Started and has been playing. He had a game that
Yeah, he did.
Never seen out of him, but
Yeah.
I'd fade it. I like Beer's call better. The thing that's good for him is that he's small forward eligible, but I still would like Beer's call with Clarkson, a guy that we know can just offensively go off. So yeah, this small forward's kind of rough, but I just plug in DeAndre Hunter.
Yeah, Beer, your thoughts?
Yeah, Shamet, I'm not buying it. If he does it back to back, then so be it. He beats me. I move on to Monday Night Football. So I'm not going there. Hunter, I worry about the ownership in tournaments, but he is a good salary saver. That price, is at least 500 too cheap. Probably more like 1,000. So 4,500. Another guy. You're plugging in cash games at tournaments. Decide. I would be underweight on him personally, but. Super good price there. Sanders at 33, like Kirk mentioned. Great price there as well. And we don't have him projected to play, a ton of minutes. I think we're at 25 on him, but 3,300, that's not a tough salary to overcome. So that one is a solid value play. I'm going to go back to the Knicks guys, not named Shamet. Josh Hart, 6,900. A little more expensive over here, but that price still, what he's going to have to do for this team. I'm always a Jaime Jaquez guy. He's at that same price. So that's one way if you want to get off some of the chalk a little bit, you can pivot to him. Ron Holland has killed us, but he is in the starting lineup tonight, and nobody wants to play him. And those are always scenarios I want to jump on board. So he is one I'm going to be playing as well. We mentioned PJ Washington. He's 6,900 over here. And Najee Marshall, 55, who I like a little bit better on FanDuel. But still in play over here. These Dallas guys are just going to be tasked tonight.
Yeah, let's go to power forward.
Towns, again, I think is the headliner, 9,500 in this matchup with Miami, so I'm good there. Randall, I worry a little bit about the blowout, but great price on him at 8,100. And who's going to keep up with him in this Dallas front court? So good spot for him tonight. Isaiah Stewart, I think, is going to go kind of overlooked here at 5,500. He is starting alongside Duran, so Indiana, good matchup for both of these bigs. We'll get to Duren here in a minute, but Stewart, power forward eligible here. Other side of that game, Siakam has had a couple down games of late, but we're showing under 5% ownership. And I know the price is expensive, matchup not ideal. If they're going to hang in this game and you got a lot of Detroit, it's likely because Pascal Siakam plays well and carries them here. So I do like that correlation. John Collins at 5,300 is kind of that middle ground. Just not a ton of upside, but if at that last spot you need somebody, I think he can fit the bill for you.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. Kirkwood, your thoughts of power forward?
Yeah, it's Cat. I like the best. Randall, I like probably second best. And then from there, Giannis. Mobley, I'm a little worried about him guarding Giannis and just getting away from his offensive game. He needs to get everything going to get there. And I think he's a fine play. I just don't know if he's going to win you the tournament tonight. Scotty Barnes here, Josh Hart, you can play here at power forward. But, yeah, those are my guys.
Let's go to center.
All right. 1 second. Sorry. Had a mouse issue. Jalen Duren is phenomenal play, 8K. Drummond is a phenomenal play, 5,900. You're probably playing one of those two guys. Other than that, Zubac, I worry about him, but he rates out as a good play. Isaiah Stewart is starting, so power forward, beef stew. If you want to play, that's a good way to play. You could play them both, or you could play beef stew at power forward and then in with Drummond at center. Feel pretty good about that.
Cock of the walk.
Yeah, always a little cock of the walk, a little nipple, either a little nipple or a little cock in this on the Hornets. But that's how you got to do it, how you play it. Claw Ware.
Thanks, producer Steve, for that one.
Well played.
Ware's okay. The poor man's Wemby, I always call him. But I think it's a tough matchup. He's going to be worried about guarding Cat the whole time. Then you've got Mitchell Robinson protecting the paint sometimes I'm down there. So don't love it, but don't hate it. And then Jakob Poeltl, I think he's kind of a sneaky play at that price at 5,800. Looks pretty good. And of course, you can play Cisse, like we said before. 3,600 is a pretty solid price here.
Yeah, boy, a lot of good plays here. Beer, what are your favorites?
Yeah, I wish we could get more of these guys in the lineups tonight. So you have that ability to at least get two on DraftKings. So Drummond and Duren are easily my favorite two here. Love the pairing of both of those guys. Cisse is probably the best value at 3,600. I mentioned Derek Queen's price a lot more attractive over here at 47. So those are the main ones. Kalkbrenner's interesting, but Diabate, they kind of cannibalize each other a little bit. I could see Naz Reid getting a little bit more run in a potential blowout here. So you can use him at power forward and open some things up. Same story with Stewart. Ware I'm a big fan of. I think eventually he figures it out, but I don't love him in the spot. Even though Miami missing Bam, it is a tough assignment. I could see him racking up some fouls quickly. So I'm mainly sticking Roth to Duren, Drummond. I really like Queen. I really like Cisse, and then mix in a little bit of Naz Reid for that blowout script.
Okay, very good. Guys, want to get to some questions? We've got less than 5 minutes until lock. I want to make sure you're hitting the thumbs up as well. It's free content. These guys are smart. They're helping you out. All we ask is that you smash the like button for us. Let's see what we've got in the Discord. FanDuel GPP, Beer, your favorite spend up?
Maxey.
Easy. No hesitation.
Nope.
Kirk, DK large field. Which chalky player would you fade in a DK large field tournament?
Man, I guess it would have to be Miles McBride or Kobe Sanders. Those are
is Mitchell the guy on the was it Mitchell, the guy on Miami?
Mitchell is going to be really highly owned on FanDuel. DraftKings, that doesn't look so bad.
Gotcha. Yeah, he's probably going to be like around 15%.
And Jenkins will knock his ownership down, so he actually becomes a little more interesting.
Let's see, Kirk, back to you. More raw points, Davion Mitchell or Drummond?
Drummond. I love Drummond tonight.
Okay. Beer, Casey Douglas says, your favorite forward at 6,900 in a DK GPP. Some good options. Hart, Jaquez, PJ Washington.
I'm always a Jaquez guy, so he stands out to me in that range. I like him a little bit more than Hart and Washington, so I'll say one. If you want a ranking, Jaquez 1, Washington 2, Hart 3, but all guys that should be in your player pool.
Okay, very good. Beer, right back to you. DK GPP, Murphy, Sanders, or quickly Jovic?
I will go the second set.
Okay. Jumping into YouTube real fast. Infinant says, Kirk, is Caruso a good cash pivot for garbage minutes in OKC?
I wouldn't say cash. I mean, a pivot. No, I don't think he's in play much tonight. I think if you want to play the garbage angle, I mentioned Isaiah Joe as like a guy that could light it up and stay on the court and produce.
Kirk, right back to you. Boney says, FanDuel single entry, Jaquez or Wiggins, and Stewart or Marshall?
Stewart. So I have a real strong take. This is an Andrew Wiggins legacy game tonight.
Whoa.
It's going down. Legacy
you were just going to keep that under wraps? You weren't going to bring
I
that
said
out?
that, with OG, he got like he goes from like the toughest matchup, one of the toughest matchups, to just a soft matchup in a game that should play at a fast pace with a bunch of guys out. So Andrew Wiggins time.
All he was doing was saving it to reward the loyal viewers that hung out with us the whole time.
Stuck around until 2 minutes until lock. Beer, I'm finding myself landing on Anthony Edwards as my final piece. And I this seems weird to say. I don't know if he has the upside at 9,100.
I think he'll be okay. I think even in 3 quarters, he can get, some of the other options around him aren't super attractive. So I almost put him in the 6-pack today. So he was fringe, and I have the same concerns as you. This game could get out of hand very quickly, and he doesn't get there. But I still think even in 3.5 quarters, he could put a mega number on the board.
He's another guy on the Diggs plan too. With
yeah.
He paid for the whole thing. Like he paid one for everything up front, like $1.5 million or something, and like was like, don't ever talk. Like I don't ever want to.
That's literally the most messed up thing ever.
Yeah, like that kid's gonna have to find that out someday. Yeah,
it's terrible. DK Cash, Beer, SGA, or Maxi for you?
I'm going Maxi. They project very similar, and that's because OKC should destroy this New Orleans team.
Okay, Beer, power forward's been destroying Cleveland so far this year. Last minute, I decided to use Giannis. Is it worth having to scrape the bottom of the barrel at other spots to get in Giannis in a large field DK tournament?
Yeah, Giannis, I think it's a great tournament play, and I think there's enough value to make it work.
Yeah, okay. Kirk, Maxi Walker, or Barnes and Mitchell, FanDuel GPP? A Mitchell.
So like each of those, I like one player, but I guess go with the second.
Yeah. Okay. Beer, Hart, or Wiggins?
Initially, I would have said Hart, but when my boy says legacy game, you're damn right, I'm going Wiggins. There.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, he doesn't need much for a legacy game, though.
This is true. So sadly true.
I got outs. I got comebacks.
Gentlemen, we have hit the lock. We're going to clear on out of here. So for Kirk, for Beer, for our wonderful production crew, always working hard behind the scenes, we appreciate you. We love you. And we will catch you tomorrow. You have been crushed.